Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Today we will talk about the biggest nightmare of H1B visa holders. Yes, you are right, losing job in H1B status. We will discuss today how to manage your H1B status after a job loss, whether you are currently facing this situation or preparing for all possibilities, and few tips for better survival. This video will guide you through your options during the 60-day grace period and few tips from my side which will help you sustaining in H1B status. Remember, while this video aims to inform and guide, it's not a legal advice, so always consult with an immigration lawyer for your specific circumstances. So let's get started. Now, what happens when you lose your job? You enter what is known as the 60-day grace period. So, this grace period allows you to remain in the US legally while you seek a new employment or make other arrangements. So, it's crucial to act promptly during this time. During these 60 days, your primary goal is to maintain your legal status. So, this could mean finding a new job in your field which can sponsor another H1B visa. So, what are the options to maintain status beyond 60 days? I know in this market situation, losing a job and getting another job plus H1B transfer within 60 days of time, it's like an impossible task. So in most of the cases in this situation, it will go beyond 60 days. So what options do we have to maintain the status if we are going beyond 60 days? We'll take a look. So we have various options through which we can maintain a legal status in United States. The first one is the change of status. So this section outlines alternatives to the H1B visa. Options include switching to a visitor visa or for tourism or medical purpose, that is the B1 or B2, enrolling in a school to convert to a student visa, or exploring other visa categories that might be applicable. So this comes under change of status. So I would suggest the better option, like the people who are coming to United States on H1B visa itself and they have lost their job, so switching to the B2 visa will be a good option. For that, you have to file I-539, that is the change of status from H1B to B2 visa. So this you can do yourself or you can take a help with an immigration lawyer as well. So, but I would suggest go with the immigration lawyer because they will take care of each and everything, and you might made a silly mistake when you file from your side. So but both options are open. You can file yourself as well. The second thing is adjustment of status. I believe 99% people will not fall into this category. This part explains like how one might adjust their status through marriage to a US citizen or through other eligible family relationship. And the third option we have is the departure. So if maintaining a legal status in United States become untenable, so This section suggests preparing for departure as a final option. You must not stay a single day over your grace period, which would cause the serious implication in your future stamping and entry into United States. Now, after 60 days, you got a job. Now you have to start your H-1B visa transfer, that is after 60 days. So what we are expecting here, so transferring your H-1B visa after grace period, like it's a tricky process, but it's possible at certain condition. So you will need a substantial evidence and perhaps even the expedited processing. So let's discuss how you can achieve this with the support of a prospective employer and the right documentation. Now, your new employer will file the new H-1B petition, that is Form I-129. Now, you have to inform your employer all about your change of status situation. So, if you have filed I-539, for example, you have filed a change of status from H-1B to B2, that is I-539, right? So it is very important, like you take your notice from your attorney. If you have filed I-539 from an attorney, you must request him to give you the notice which they would have received from USCIS, because that would be needed in your H-1B petition, the new petition which your employer is going to file. So tell everything about your situation to your new employer. You must not keep him in dark. Now, the new employer files H-1B petition in premium processing. This is very important. The new petition must be filed in premium processing with change of status. So in Form I-129, there is a section for change of status. So your new employer will mark that change of status as from pending B2 to H-1B. Right? So this is very important step. This should not be missed from your employer. And this should be done in the premium processing. So premium processing will take some 15 days of time to get the approval. And once you get the approval, so how will you come to know like the change of a status has been approved by USCIS? So usually you will see on the bottom left corner, your I-94 number must be mentioned in the new approval. If that is mentioned in the new approval, your change of a status has been approved successfully. So that's how we come to know like our change of a status is approved by USCIS. Now, one more important thing here, you must not start your job until you get the approval notice, because you have already filed for the change of status from H-1B to B2, right? So you should not start your job on approval. I mean, you should start your job on approval notice only. So this is very important. So once you get the approval notice in your hand, you can start your job. Now, let's have some tips. This is from my side. I'm going to give the personal tips. If you are on H-1B and if you want to sustain in US without going into like 60 days grace period, all these things. So these tips you can follow. The first tip is avoid joining service-based company. You should avoid any service-based company like TCS, Wipro, Infosys, Accenture, LTI Mindtree. Because what will happen once you lose, even they provide a 1 month of bench period, but I have seen if you lose your customer, you won't be able to find a new customer in the 1 month of time. So in many scenarios, like you won't be able to join in 1 month of time, and they have to terminate your service after 1 month, and immediately once they terminate you, your 60 days grace period starts. So this is the drawback of joining any service based company. They will say that okay, we are hiring you as a full-time employee, we will give you all the benefits, but personally I do not see any benefit joining a service based company. Second drawback is joining a service based company is like they will pay you less. Definitely you are not going to get a good pay in service based company. So if you have various options, try to avoid joining service based companies. Now stick to C2C role. So another thing is we have this co-op to co-op roles, like right on a contract positions, where we have an extra layer between so there will be an employer, an implementation partner, and the client. So three people will be there. Basically a layer will be there in between your employer and your client. So this kind of job, right, this is more safe, I would say, as compared to joining a service based company, right? So in service based company there will be no layer, and you will be like directly employed, right? So you will be under their payroll. So in C2C, the good part is like, even though if you lose your job from the client side, right, so your employer will not immediately like say, hey, you cannot stay with us. So they may run your payroll, and you can sustain with them, and your 60 days grace period will not start immediately. So you can take advantage of that. So because once you go into a 60 days grace period, you will be in full tension. Your 60 days clock has started, and you have to convert interviews as well. So you won't be able to sleep at night, you won't be able to eat, and days will pass like anything. 60 days, just it will pass, and you won't convert anything. So if you are on C2C role, you can easily avoid this kind of situation, going into a 60 days grace period. This is a very bad situation. Third tip is always strive for full-time employment with the end client, not with the service-based companies. We all know we always want to go with full-time with end client. That's all our wish, right? But in the current market situation, we have seen like usually like 95% of time, like end client will not sponsor H1B visas. They will always say like, hey, we want the visa independent candidates. But still some organization, they still hire H1B visas. So if you get a chance to be a full-time employee with the end client, that would be the best option for you. One more thing, if you are on job search, so I would prefer you to switch to the LinkedIn Premium. So that is very important. If you are in the job market, switch to LinkedIn Premium, and in LinkedIn Premium you have a very good learning section where they give you all sort of like tutorials from the job conversion perspective. You can, if you come from a data engineering background, you can search any topic there, and you can start learning in LinkedIn itself. Very good tutorial they have. So I would recommend switch to LinkedIn Premium and stay connected. You should have at least 500 plus connections. That will really help you to find job. And always keep yourself interview ready. So we know, like in the COVID times, like hiring was done by all the organization like anything. So now we are facing these kinds of like layoffs. Every time we are seeing layoffs are happening. So always keep yourself interview ready. If you are coming from a data engineering background, keep all the things ready with you. Have mastery on the data warehousing, have mastery on all the AWS components, have mastery on the data pipeline, how it is working. All go through all the interview questions. Even I'm trying from my side to give you all sort of information which can help you converting interviews, so you can make use of those things. I hope this piece of information will help you if you are in the same boat of job search, and if you are in 60 days grace period. So yeah, if you like the video, do subscribe my channel, and we'll see soon in the next video.